Hello, I read this book. I'll just read out a little bit from one of the first pages. It says, I decided to let go of everything that makes life normal, secure and conventionally happy. I chose something else. I was tremendously excited by life and didn't think I'd find it where I was. I knew that leaving would be hard, but like Candide, I should like to know which is worse, to be raped by a hundred times by Negro pirates, to have a buttock cut off, to run the gauntlet among the Bulgarians, to be whipped and flogged, to be dissected, to row in a galley, in short, to have endured miseries through which we have passed, or to remain here doing nothing. Which seems a bit over the top, really. I think it's probably worse to be raped 100 times than to do nothing, to be honest. Yeah. But anyway, I think it is quite courageous to go off and do something whereby you give up, as he says, all the secure, conventional, normal life things. And in this book he goes off cycling, I think down Africa in this one, and he can return at any point because he has the money to be able to just return back to England and go back to his normal life. But while he is there, he does have to, he is putting himself through, subjecting himself to a life where he's cycling all the time and in harsher conditions than he would be if he just stayed in England. But during the book I got the impression that he was quite negative about the trip and didn't enjoy hardly any of it anyway, so I don't know if there was, I guess he might have learnt some things from it, but I'm not really sure there is much point to it. Just putting yourself through near poverty and getting annoyed at the locals who are begging and things like that, and I don't know, it seems quite negative for most of the book, so I don't know whether or not it was the right thing to have done. I mean, there was other adventures he could have done and had more fun, I imagine. It seemed like he'd picked this adventure just to put himself through something he'd hate, just for the sake of going through something he'd hate. I don't know, just to be able to say he'd gone through something hard. It seems to me also in these sorts of books, most of the ones I read, they go into quite dangerous situations, even if officials and people have said no. I mean, he seems quite annoyed whenever someone tells him no, don't go over there, there's wild animals and stuff, and he seems quite annoyed if someone tells him he can't do something. And I don't know, it seems like you could do something a safe, planned way, and you'd get the same you'd learn the same sorts of things from it. But like at the start of the book, when he sets off cycling from his house, he didn't even know which way to turn cycling from his house. There just seemed to be barely any planning at all, which doesn't make sense. I mean, it wouldn't have negated anything from his experience to have known which way to cycle, or to have organised the visas in advance or anything like that. So it's like you deliberately put yourself in a position where you might not get the visa, or you might end up somewhere by accident that puts you completely off course, and or where you've no idea where you are, or no one knows where you are. You know, you're putting yourself in these positions deliberately, and that's the sort of impression I got from the book, is he was just putting himself in a dangerous place, or in a hard place, just so that you could say he'd been in a hard place. Basically, he didn't enjoy it very much, and there wasn't something to be gained from doing that, precisely. So I guess it's the premise of the book. You know, the very first pages, he brings up that quote, is it worse to be raped 100 times or to do nothing? And that's his sort of mantra from then on, I guess, is to just, oh, I'd rather go through something horrible. I mean, no, why?